Tonight's headlines, Metro mayors call for easing restrictions for fully vaccinated. NEDA chief backs pilot run of bakuna bubbles in NCR. 10 Department of Health volunteer doctors leave Philippine General Hospital. No proof yet of waning Sinovac jab efficacy in the Philippines. Agriculture damage losses due to Jolina reach 300 million pesos. And Philippine stocks index slips. Good evening. Today is Thursday, September 9, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. 17 mayors of Metro Manila on Thursday called on the national government to relax the COVID-19 restrictions for fully vaccinated individuals in the National Capital Region. In the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Resolution number 21-19, the Metro Manila Council, comprised of the region's mayors, urged the Interagency Task Force to consider the easing of COVID-19 guidelines for the fully vaccinated, subject to the conduct of an interagency and interdisciplinary study to determine the appropriate policy, therefore based on scientific and empirical evidence. The Metro Manila mayors argued that the easing of restrictions in favor of the fully vaccinated ones would not only boost employment, industry, services, and other economic endeavors, but would likewise encourage the rest of the population to have themselves vaccinated with the end of achieving herd immunity at the soonest possible time. In a separate statement, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion welcomed the Metro Manila mayor's resolution. National Economic Development Authority Director General Carl Kendrick Chua said he is inclined to support the pilot run of the bakuna bubbles proposed by the business sector in the National Capital Region. Last week, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion pushed for a test implementation of bakuna bubbles in Metro Manila with high vaccination rates against COVID-19. He said implementing the bakuna bubbles in NCR areas with high vaccination rates can contribute to the country's vaccination program and at the same time test if it is the way to safely reopen the economy. However, Justice Secretary Minardo Guevara previously warned of legal challenges if the government pushes ahead with the policy, adding some could complain of discriminatory treatment. 10 volunteer doctors from the Department of Health have left the Philippine General Hospital, which has reached its full capacity amid a surge in COVID-19 patients, according to the hospital spokesperson on Thursday. PGH spokesperson Dr. Jonas Del Rosario could not say the individual reasons behind the resignations, even as he surmised that these doctors could earn more elsewhere for a lesser workload. Del Rosario also said their COVID-19 beds are now fully occupied, with 100 people still waiting to be admitted to the hospital. Del Rosario added they would have to close some of the non-COVID facilities so that they can open up more beds that have available oxygen ports. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with a network that gets better every day for you.
In other news, the Food and Drug Administration said it was still too early to say anything conclusive regarding the waning effectiveness of Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines that have so far been administered in the Philippines. FDA Director General Eric Domingo underscored the need to gather more data to determine whether there is a reduction in effectiveness after several months. Sinovac shots were first introduced in the country in March. Mingo added that current data showed very low cases of breakthrough infection and mortality among the 6.8 million Filipinos who are fully vaccinated with Sinovac, the most widely used vaccine in the country. As of August 29, 180 of the 242 cases of breakthrough infection, which occurs more than 14 days after a person has completed the recommended dose of a vaccine, are those who received the Sinovac shots, according to government data. The damage and losses sustained by the crop sector due to the onslaught of severe tropical storm Jolina have reached nearly 300 million pesos, according to the Department of Agriculture. The DA's Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Operations Center reported that the agricultural damage and losses due to the weather disturbance totaled 299.40 million pesos. This translates to 16,155 metric tons of production loss, covering 57,649 hectares of agricultural areas in Calabarzon, Bicol Region, Western Visayas, and Eastern Visayas, affecting 62,052 farmers and fisherfolk. Affected commodities include rice, corn, high-value crops, livestock, and fisheries, according to the DADRRM added. And in business, continued risk aversion, partly due to concerns on the economic impact of the pandemic, resulted in the negative close of the Philippine Stock Exchange on Thursday, but the peso gained against the greenback. The main equities index shed 25.37 points or 0.37% to 6,924.02 at the closing bell. The broader all shares trailed with a drop of 5.5 points or 0.13% to 4,280.79. Jolina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Limningan said that Philippine shares slid following overseas market, with Wall Street retreating for the third straight trading day after the market started downgrading the U.S. growth prospects. Volume totaled 920.41 million shares, amounting to 4.39 billion pesos. Losers surpassed gainers at 96 to 94, while 44 shares were unchanged. Meanwhile, the peso strengthened against the U.S. dollar and finished the day at 49.92 from 50.11 on Thursday. That wraps up the stories tonight, and before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of the Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel, and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.